Ваши отцы, деды и прадеды не для того сражались с нацистами, защищая нашу общую родину, чтобы сегодняшние неонацисты захватили власть на Украине.
To understand Putin's obsession with Nazism, we need to go back to the Soviet Union and its answer to the question, why do we exist? Well, because we have a common goal. Together, we will build communism. But Soviet leader Khrushchev was the last true believer in that dream. He promised that communism will be achieved by 1980. Khrushchev was deposed by Brezhnev in 1964, who was actually more concerned with staying in power than achieving communism. A new justification was needed for the existence of the Communist Party. So, Brezhnev promised developed socialism. It was unclear what that would actually mean. Inevitably, there was no more convincing story to legitimize the regime. Brezhnev's solution? He started focusing on the biggest achievement of the Soviet Union, beating the Nazis in World War II. This way, he moved legitimacy from the future to the past, and a war cult emerged. Victory Day became a non-working public holiday in 1965, and the first military parade since 1945 was held. Eventually, the Berlin Wall came down, and soon after, the Soviet Union disintegrated. Boris Yeltsin, the first president of the Russian Federation, came with a new promise. We'll become rich and developed like the West. But soon enough, barely anyone believed in that bright capitalist future anymore. The sudden and uncontrolled switch to capitalism led to widespread poverty in the 1990s. In his resignation speech, Yeltsin clearly demonstrated the sense of despair in Russian society.
Я хочу попросить у вас прощения за то, что многие наши с вами мечты не сбылись.
While the collapse of the Soviet Union was initially welcomed by many, Russians started feeling increasingly humiliated and nostalgic. Many regretted the collapse because they no longer felt like they belonged to a world power. Putin came to power in the year 2000, who has clearly expressed his feeling of nostalgia.
Прежде всего следует признать, и об этом я уже говорил, что крушение Советского Союза было крупнейшей геополитической катастрофой века.
Putin has actively exploited the symbolic capital of the victory over the Nazis to legitimize his increasingly repressive regime and to restore Russian hegemony within the former Soviet Union. Putin signed a treaty to make Crimea part of Russia. At the time, he called the leadership in Kiev nationalists, neo-Nazis, Russophobes, and anti-Semites. It is known that some far-right nationalists are active in the country, specifically the Azov Battalion fighting in the east of Ukraine. But Putin now takes advantage of these radical figures to justify an invasion of the entire country. On the 18th of March 2022, Putin held a rally to celebrate Crimea's annexation. Even here, the Nazi narrative leads to some surreal images. The stadium was decorated with banners saying, "For a world without Nazism." The victory over Nazi Germany is one of the few historical events of which most Russians can be proud, but is currently exploited by Putin to justify atrocities against Ukraine.